Felicitations, Malfactors, and welcome back to more Cave Gameshire. So, in the previous video, we built the docks over on the East Fort, and today we're going to be taking care of a couple of more random things over on the fort. We're going to be digging a tunnel between the entranceway to the main section of the fort, like that large flat area, because you can't access it through the normal means of entrance. And the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to strengthen that dirt archway, because the one side of it looks like it's like hanging on by a thread. While swimming over here, I did in fact fix that dock. I shaved it down by 1 block. It took me like an hour or so. But yeah, so that's now correct. And the only other thing to do in relation to the docks is to connect them through the wall into the main part of the city. But once we've done, I guess, those three things, we'll be ready to start moving material out and then begin to build things on the inside. So I am going to meet you guys on the inside of the fort. Okay, so I'm over here at the archway outside of the fort. You can see where the weak section is, so we will be working on that secondly. But the primary thing we're going to be working on today is going to be the tunnel, which is going to be over here. So ideally, you would walk through that archway, and then you would continue down and around all the way through this little section of space that's actually available. And then you would pass over here, and then you would utilize a tunnel that I'm going to dig that's going to go from here all the way over to the flat section. So I'm just going to dig it pretty much diagonal and then go straight there. But yeah, that is the plan. So I'm going to begin by just carving out the tunnel. All right, so I've bored out the tunnel now that runs from right here on the flat part all the way back over to where I was staring at the entrance. So technically now you can walk through here. So I think the next step is to kind of set up some kind of pillar system with some kind of spacing here, and then replace, say, the coal and iron in here with smooth stone, and then kind of figure out what kind of spacing to do, and then we'll get some design going here. But for the most part, this is now done. I got really lucky, actually. This is completely, like, perfectly diagonal, and it comes out right here, right at the edge of the flat section. Like, I didn't plan this. It just worked out that way. So that's really fucking cool, and I'm kind of glad that actually happened like that. So I'll be back when I have something here. Alright, so I've done all of the pillars here, as well as make sure the tunnel is, the same all the way down. I can't really think of too much to do with the remainder of the tunnel. The only reason I haven't done anything with the top section here is because on the opposite side here, this top section is like the floor of the level section above here. So if I like break that apart and reshape it, then it's going to reflect up there. I might be able to get away with something like that in the future. But for now, I'm going to leave the tunnel as is. I might do some weathering in here later on or something like that. But for the main part, or for the purpose of this, it's fulfilled. It's a tunnel that goes through here and allows you to walk. The other thing that I did was I kind of made this. Well, I put like stone slabs up here, going all the way up. Yeah. So I don't really think there's much else to do for that. So, it's time to go over to the archway. Alright, so over at the archway, we're gonna go ahead and make this look, well, a little more similar to the opposite side here. So I want to copy, not necessarily copy, but pretty much take the left side and put it on the right side here, because this just looks like it's hanging on by a very thin thread. And coincidentally, the archway itself right here is already mirrored, so that works out perfectly. I just got to copy what's there and then put it over there, which is why I have several stacks of stone and dirt. Alright, so I will begin this process right meow. Alright, the archway on the right side is done. For the most part, this looks much better now. It's way more solid up at the top. There might still be more like random work that I take care of, little onesies, twosies here and there. But this is now much nicer to look at. I might carve this out a little bit more because it is kind of right angly here, although that is kind of common in alpha and beta terrain. So I might shave that off a little bit and yeah, make this round the corner. Yeah, in fact, I think I will do that. And then the next thing we're going to go work on is the walkway over at the piers. So I will be right back. Okay, so over at the docks here, we've got a couple of spots marked out for some entranceways. So I'm going to build a staircase that goes up to the wall, connecting it up there. I'm going to put another one over there where that small little dirt staircase is, and then this right here will be the main entranceway that's going to connect back down to the main flat area. We are about 3 blocks higher than the sea level, so at 65 down there, at least according to the coordinate display. So it's gonna be an archway that's gonna go down gradually. But that is the plan for that. So I'm going to go ahead and build these 2 staircases real quick, and then I will show you guys what it looks like. All right, so we've got one of the 2 staircases right here. It's really shallow just because, well, it's 3 blocks below the main wall. That's just due to the fact of the way that I built the dock extending out of the water here. But this isn't too bad. I do like the staircase. I did kind of copy the design from there that I'm using, just shortening it, and it works. I like it. I might trim off these because they do seem to be kind of in the way. At least those. I might leave these sections right here, but I think these might be in the way. And then the other staircase is over here, over on the opposite end. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove this entire section right here where this dirt is marking it. This entire section of the walls are going to be cut out, and then I'm going to build archway over it. And then the other thing to do on top of that is to then allow, of course, wall access so you can walk on top of it. So I will be right back. All right, so the main archway, or not archway, but the entrance from the docks into the main part of the city is now completed. I also built the walkway on top of it, so now you can, of course, continue to walk across this. It's just a simple staircase up to the top, and then some, edges on the side there to keep things contained. But the actual thing itself turned out pretty nicely. I like the way it looks. So if we come over here, so you can imagine, say traders, people that want to sell like any kind of goods that are coming in, they could bring them down through to say main marketplaces through this entranceway. And now you can safely travel between them, which makes it nicer for me whenever I come over here because I don't have to walk all the way around now. So that does it for all the kind of miscellaneous things that I needed to take care of within the fort. Um, Honestly, now I'm pretty much good to move all of this random stuff out of the way and begin building buildings on the inside of the fort. So it's about like a 2.5 month project, about a month of planning, but it's really starting to come together, and I'm really, really liking the way it's turned out so far. So that does it for me today. So as always, I have been Fig. Thank you for watching, and take care.